Sorry, I don't have a screen for my camera, so I can't see what you're seeing, and that tells me when the battery's dead. The battery died somewhere through what we're doing, so I'm coming back, and I'm going to start back here. Right here is we got two vehicles that belong to the hotel. The Ford van, and this is a Chinese-made SUV from China. Both of them are old and really bad. Right there is a dining room. The big dining room holds about 350. It's got a dance floor. It's really, really nice. In the middle over here is the kitchen. That door right there, you goes in, you go up the stairs, and you're in the kitchen. You see the vents on top. That's all in the kitchen. Right over there is one dining room. It's about 70 up on top, and down below is another dining room. So we've got three dining rooms, and mainly they only use one. They change them around depending on parties, banquets, and stuff like that that's going on. Upstairs is more hotel rooms are upstairs, and you see the fireplace is right there. And this place is really needing upkeep. They don't do well in Central America for upkeep. They build them and then they just kind of use them up. So, but this is what we have. Right inside that door, you go up a ramp and it goes on up to the where you sign in and all that kind of stuff goes up there. And there's stairs that goes down, so you can go down there. It goes along down the bottom, and that'll take you to the other dining room or the kitchen. And it'll take you down to more rooms down below. There is three floors. You see, there's one up there. There's right there when you check in. Right there's a floor, and down below there's another floor right there. So they got all this is all rooms over here. Oh, and you see my new car? You see my new car? No, it's not my new car. But anyway, I just thought I'd show it to you. It's cool. I say, this is a very unique place, and works really well. It's funny, they've got a handicap, and then the other one's for pregnant. It's funny the way they try to act like the United States. They try to get all this stuff, but they're missing a lot of the points and why and how. But it's kind of neat. I say, there you can see the bottom floor. Now, at one time, you go up to the lobby. There's a steps that goes up, and you go to the lobby and go to the left. And my office was there 12 years ago when we first moved down here. That's where I put my office. Well, when we first moved down, we were using the salons over on the Amexa. And then later on, after my wife had her strokes, then I moved over here in a small, that one was a big salon. This one over here was just a small room that I used to do my Hoi Chi. So here's the pretty trees that they work on. So this is right now. We're in rainy season. That's why you see it's cloudy. Now we didn't have any rain at all last year, so we went probably about a year and a half with no rain. They usually have about about 5 or 6 months of rainy season, and rainy season consists normally of anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours of a light rain. So yeah, there's, see the sign, Annexa. That's where it is. That's the ramp that we walked down right there. And this is our trash. Now we're using bags now, plastic bags. They used to use trash cans. Now they moved up to the plastic bags. These are pretty, pretty flowers. And I used to spend a lot of time over here. When my wife was alive, when I was here at the hotel, a lot of times I would be along the fence up there, or I'd be back down here. And a lot of times I had my motorcycle, and I'd had my motorcycle parked here. I say I went 10 years without a car. All I had was a motorcycle, and that's all I drove. And I drove all over Central America and North America during that time. And there it is right here. You can see where that end house was built way over there. And on to the right, where you drive down, where you see me make the videos, on below that they used to have some bungalows, and it was really nice. And people would rent those bungalows, and boy, they would throw some parties. So it was really nice. We did have a rain, and it flooded all this, and it flooded out the bungalows. That's why we got rid of the bungalows, and all this was washed out. And that's why they put up trees. They put trees up to hold the dirt more, so it won't get washed away so much. And they also brought in truckloads of dirt to fill all this in. You can see where the wall is a little crooked right there. All that dirt fell off into the river, and so it made all that really unstable. And you see where they're growing more trees. They're trying to stabilize the ground. I say this is the back part of the hotel. And we have a manager that's running the hotel now. It's his car, and that's how they go up. The office for running the hotel is up on top. Right here's the water heater, and it's run by diesel fuel. You see the diesel. So they run diesel fuel to run the water heater. It's like a big boiler, and that's how they make that run. And you can see where all this was washed away, and they had to rebuild it all, build it all back up. I'd say this is the back part of the hotel. See, they were scared that this part, see the river down there, they were scared all this was going to fall on down. This is all they filled all this back up with dirt. So this was ready to fall off into the river. And if that happened, well, then we would start losing some of the hotel. So it's very, very peaceful back here. And clear in the back over here is a chapel. So that's pretty nice too. You can see our one maintenance or one gardening guy, his work is really cut out for him. He really can't do it. He's getting old too. They're trying to save money by not hiring any more people. But the place needs maintenance, needs it bad. See this wall? That's the dirt. What they did is they made the dirt bricks, like we talked about earlier, and then they put cement over that. So a lot of the buildings you see, especially the older buildings, they used dirt bricks. Now they use concrete bricks, but they used to use dirt bricks at the time. So, and I say, here's the, and this is something I had a hard time getting used to. You see the water? It's just sitting right there. In the United States, that would have froze. So they don't do it like that down here. So it's kind of neat. And here's the creek. And the swimming pool's right over here. Right over there's the swimming pool. And the creek runs down to the river. But anyway, I've made some videos back here. Some of my earlier ones. Like I say, I started making videos, I think, in '09. That's when my wife had her severe stroke, and I couldn't leave the hotel, so I pretty much, like I say, I stayed back here. The motorcycle was back there. I did all my videoing. All that stuff was all done back here. And you see the upper floors. So it's really, really, I understand with your American standards, this is probably a dump. But I know when it first was built, it was running about a 3 or 4 star hotel. And I say through time, I can see it's not a 3 or 4 star hotel any longer. But down here, I would say this is probably in the middle, in the way of how good this place is. You know, it's not one of the finer hotels. They've got places that are much, much nicer. But I say this place does have a lot of character. And now here you might see. You see all this was washed out and they had to replace it. This fell back into the river. But like I say, now everybody's just trying to squeeze all the money they can out of it. So it's a little different. It's a little different. It's sad for me to see it decaying like it is. It's even sadder that I know why all this is happening. I don't know. I know I've had a lot of good memories. I say I've been coming down here, I say over 40 years. Normally I'd come 2 weeks every other year. Our daughter, we sent her down here for, I think, like 6 months, I think. I don't know how old she was. She was in her teens. And it did a lot for her. She's the oldest. We didn't send our son, and that's something that I've regretted. In life, we make choices, and like I said in my videos, I pay the price or I reap the rewards. And I'm not scared to making choices. I'm not scared of what happens on the choices that I make. Like I say, I know I'm going to pay for it. There's nothing wrong with paying the price. That's part of taking personal responsibility. I love the weather down here. I love the culture. I could live here. I could stay here. But at my age, that's why. And when you're young, you're married, raising kids, you look at life one way. Now, like I say, I don't have a home. I don't have nothing. I don't want nothing. That gives me the freedom to go places and do things. The way I'm at right now in my life, the way I look at it, if I was to stay here, grow a garden, really grow a garden, get out and dig in the dirt and do all this kind of stuff, and just sit back and enjoy life, I would feel like I'm waiting to die. That's why I do, when I get opportunities, I take off. Like I went to Tapachula, Mexico, southern end of Mexico. I went to Belize, the northern end of Guatemala. Belize is over by Cancun. I went to Cancun. Drove across the Yucatan Peninsula. Almost killed me. The heat is severe. Here, when you tell people that I live in Xela or Castancanango, they always say frio, cold. And it is cold. You see people here wear coats. You start going down the mountain, everybody wears flip-flops, shorts, and tank tops. And they don't have very many clothes. They just use the same clothes over and over again. I told the story about a guy that he had his flip-flops, and I said, well, don't you wish you had another pair of shoes? And he says, where would I put them? He doesn't have no place to put those shoes. In other words, you need a closet to put them, and then a closet means you need a room. You need a house, and a house you need a roof, and right on down the line. Up here where we're at, it gets a little chilly. It is nice to have a house, some place to take it easy, get out of the weather. Like I say, it rains. It's a little cool. It gets a little cool, about 45 to 50 at night, pretty much all year round. So, and it stays anywhere from 65 to 75 high all year round. Buenas tardes. So